guys, I'm Layla. Welcome to my lore stories. Today's lore story is going to be for Dhukk the Pierced. I know I call him Dhukk, so people call him Duck. I'd like to know how you guys pronounce his name. And this was a recommendation from Twitch chat, as he's never had a story before and he does. So let's check it out and read it together. Dhukk was born to the chieftain of the Thunderbringers clan, a powerful orc named Skargar, during the Age of Hellfire. He embraced warlike ways, but failed to heed his father's lessons in the importance of cunning and foresight. He assumed all would submit to him when his time to rule came, confident none could best him in combat. When Skargar passed away, enemies that had been spreading their influence within the Thunderbringers struck. Dhukk's uncle, Grimgar, coveted the position of chieftain. After the great feast held to mark Dhukk's ascension, while much of the clan lay in a drunken stupor, Grimgar made his play. He set fire to the clan's hall, then sounded the alarm. During the chaos, his followers dragged the inebriated Dhukk into the surrounding Durham forest. They would have killed him, but even in his drunken state, Dhukk was a ferocious warrior. He slew two of his captors and extracted the truth about the betrayal from the last before killing him too. He tried to return the clan, but passed out in the forest's darkness. When Dhukk awoke, he found himself bound atop the back of a wagon. An Ogryn approached and introduced herself as Boz, a name Dhukk recognized. She was an infamous slaver. She told Dhukk in no uncertain terms that he was now her property. Dhukk fought his bonds and demanded that Boz free him. He was a chieftain and would wreak terrible vengeance if she did not obey. Boz paid no heed. In the months that followed, Dhukk was pitched against other slaves in a spat of gladiatorial bouts. He killed without hesitation, driven into terrible rage by the knowledge of Grimgar's treachery. The brutal orc was soon top billing among the gladiatorial duels. Dhukk's attempted escape again and again. He killed numerous guards, yet failed every time. Boz seemed to enjoy the trouble Dhukk caused. After each escape attempt, she had a scrap of iron driven into his torso, leaving him pierced with wicked metal shards that also served as crude armor. Boz ruthlessly mocked Dhukk, saying the protection would be necessary, as a continued failure to escape ensured he would see more action in the pits. The pain of his piercings, combined with his anger and frustration, slowly eroded the former chief's sanity. Dhukk lost himself in the thing he had always loved most, fighting. The orc's mental state steadily broke. He shouted at imaginary figures and randomly burst into abrupt, harsh laughter. He attacked other slaves, not to be isolated in a spiked cage between bouts, all the while viciously taunting anyone nearby, real or imagined, and demanding they face him in combat. His fighting style degenerated to reduced to wild frenzies. To further amuse herself and test the depths of Dhukk's sanity, Boz claimed that one human prisoner she held was in fact a Grimgar, and threw him into the ring with the orc. Dhukk flew into a frenzy and hacked the man to pieces, claiming afterwards he had finally earned his revenge and was once more master of his clan. Boz, as part of the ongoing jest, had the human's reins mounted on Dhukk's crude shield. Dhukk now seemed like nothing more than a living weapon, cold steel whittled and honed down, stripped of everything but its cruel edge. That may have been merely what Dhukk wished Boz to believe. Perhaps, behind his insane grin, lurked the cunning he neglected to acquire before his enslavement, carefully concealed until the time was right. Wow, okay, so they talk about how he basically killed a man, right? And parts of him were put onto his shield. So I guess that explains what this is. So I gotta say, I like when these stories actually start to kind of explain some things we weren't certain about. So now we see why it looks like he actually has metal pieces embedded into his skin, is because it literally was. And this was the bones of somebody that he killed. So I thought this was a pretty good story, guys. Drop me a comment down below what you think for the story for Dhukk the Pierced. And thanks so much for watching.